everyone. I'm Natalie DuPré, and welcome to the Passion Project podcast, where we have sit-down conversations with individuals who are pursuing their passions, where we want to inspire you to discover what your passion is and how to pursue it. Today, we have an amazing guest for you. Not only is she an author and a home decor and DIY content creator and influencer, but she is also a local McKinney resident. I'm so excited to welcome KariAnne to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much, KariAnne, for doing this with me. I first wanted to start out with asking you, what is your passion?
My passion is truly encouraging individuals to be the very best person they can be, finding what they love to do and encouraging them to do more of it. In my life, doing that has been such an incredible blessing to me. And so I am always trying to pay it forward and encourage other individuals to do that as well.
Well, I've seen that just in my life. You've always encouraged me with all of my passions, and I'm so grateful for that. So what would you say to someone who may not know what their passion is, and how would you encourage them to find that?
I think the most important thing, what I always tell people is, what are other people always complimenting you on? So in other words, are people always saying, you're the very best chef, you're the best decorator, you're the best encourager, you're the best makeup putter honor. But whatever that it is that other people see in you, maybe lean into that and explore that and see if that's something that you truly love to do. Because obviously, if other people are recognizing that value and they are seeing that in you, then I would lean into that. I always encourage people, because sometimes an outside perspective, looking in at yourself, it's so important. It's not a perspective that you have.
Right.
And having other people kind of tell you what you're good at, leaning into that, you can open up so many possibilities.
Yeah. So how did you first discover your passion for interior designing, for DIYs, and what made you decide to go ahead and pursue that?
We moved from McKinney, Texas to a rural part of Kentucky, and in the entire area we lived in, there were no stoplights. There were 2 blinking lights. And there I was with my 4 kids, and I was living, in a very rural area, and I just wanted some friends. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get online. I'm going to find some friends. And I was lonely. And that's really the reason why I got on there. And I started just writing stories, just silly stories, nothing super amazing, just a story of my life. And I just started writing, and people started responding to the stories. And when they started responding to the stories, I was like, wait, this is amazing. And just the feedback I was getting on the stories. And then about 6 months in, I went to a blogging conference. And at the blogging conference, there were all these people there, and they were making money. And I'm like, wait, you could make money from a blog? That's a thing? And at that point, I came back home, back to my farmhouse, and I just really leaned into writing, creating content, decorating, doing DIY projects, completely redoing my house. And along the way, I discovered this passion for owning my own business and discovering new ways to make money online, and just leaning into this amazing new world that I discovered online.
Yeah, and I love how you kind of found that by getting that feedback from others, kind of what you talked about earlier, that they recognized that you had, a great skill and a great ability to write, so you kind of leaned into that. I think a lot of people are scared sometimes to take that first step and try something new, but the fact that you just went ahead and started writing on that blog is something that I find really interesting, because I think a lot of times people are fearful of trying something new, and I think it's really important to put yourself out there.
Well, I think a great example of this is, so when I was starting the blog, I had no idea how to photograph. I didn't know anything, and I actually had one of those phones that you would rewind and take to Eckerd's. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to hire a photographer. He came out to the house. He took all of these photographs of my living room, and I put them on the blog. And I was going to write a super fancy blog, how to decorate with gray and white, or how to hang your curtains a certain height above your windows. And when the pictures came back, I had forgotten, it was Christmas time, and I had forgotten my tree skirt under my tree. And so it was wide angle photographs, and these giant plastic feet from the tree were coming into the living room, and they were exaggerated because it was wide angle photographs. And I thought, oh no, like I can't act like I'm fancy. I don't even put a tree skirt on my tree. And so I started my very first blog post like, hi, my name's KariAnne. And you know what? I do not put tree skirts under my trees. I forget about it sometimes. And guess what? There's an entire world of people that they don't do that. And so by being myself and being authentic and leaning into really the person that I am, both online and offline, I think that's really what has grown the brand and grown the business.
Mm-hmm. That's really awesome. And I'm sure that was probably before all the Photoshop and everything to like touch up all the different things. You just had to be real and, you embrace that, which is cool.
Keep it authentic for sure.
Yeah, always. What would you say is your favorite part about your current job or career with Thistleword Farms? What makes you excited to get up in the morning and to do for your work?
Oh, well, where do I start? I mean, I feel like I'm the luckiest duck in the entire world because everything that I love to do is I made it into a job. I figured out how to make money and how to get paid for it. So for example, about 3 years ago, I lost 105 pounds. And when you lose all that weight, you decide, okay, wait, I really like shopping and I like doing this. And I discovered a whole new world of clothes and fashion and beauty and all this stuff. And so I got all excited about it. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to share this with my readers and maybe they might be interested too. And so along my journey sharing that, all of these readers, they were like, wait, KariAnne, I bought the mascara that you recommended, or I bought this shirt that you recommended. And they started taking my recommendations very seriously. So I leaned into affiliate links and started making money that way. And you have never seen a person more excited to sell you a tube of mascara in your entire life.
I love that.
I'm just so passionate about what I do and sharing my finds with other people. And so currently I think that's my favorite part of the job right now. But along the way, I've been doing this for 12 years. And along the way, I've kind of pivoted. I've leaned into different things. And I just keep it interesting. In other words, if it's not of interest to me anymore, I pivot and I do something else with the business.
Yeah.
So currently right now I'm all about selling mascara, but tomorrow, like who knows, I might decide I want to go do room makeovers for people. So,
well, I think that's really insightful that you said that as you were working in your business and it kind of changed of what your focus was. And I think that passions can change and it's like all about embracing that. So what would you say to somebody that might have a passion, but then they decide that they might be getting burnt out, they might not really enjoy it as much anymore? Would you have any advice or encouragement for them?
I think I would tell the person that not every single part of so probably if they have a passion for something, there are parts of that job that they love and parts that they don't love. And I would tell them to lean into the parts that they love and either pivot and don't do the parts that they don't love anymore or hire that part out. I always think it's a good job when you're pursuing your passion or creating a business from your passion. I think it's important to hire to your weakness. So things that you don't do well. So for example, for myself, I'm not that good at creating videos, so I hire that out. I'm not that good at putting together collages of things to sell, so I hire that out. I am for sure not good at graphics. That is not my strength at all, so I hire that out to someone. I figured out the parts of my job that I don't like to do or the parts of my passion project that I don't like to do, and then I assign those tasks to someone else, and that allows me to concentrate on the part that I love. And I just do more of what I love. So a lot of times when people are burnt out, it's not that they're burnt out on the entire project or the job or the passion. There are parts of it that they don't like, and that kind of colors their entire experience.
Yeah. Well, I can see that that's evident in your life because when you talk about your job and you talk about your passion, you're always so enthusiastic about it. And I was curious to hear how you kept that enthusiasm and that joy in every day, because even in your videos, you're always having the brightest smile. You're always a light to talk to. So I can see that so evidently in your content. I was also going to ask you, because people in life tend to be multi-passionate. Do you have any other passions that you have and pursue on your daily life?
That is such a great question. So I actually kind of pivoted a little bit on the business. So I have twofold. Number one, I love decorating. I love putting rooms together, and that is a giant part of what I do. But then I have this whole other side, which is a completely different facet of the business, where I love encouraging women, and specifically women online to create blogs and social media platforms just like mine, and how to turn their hobbies. For example, let's say someone loves to cook. I can come alongside them and help them and consult with them and say, here's how to turn this cooking business into an online business. And I had no idea that I really was so passionate about encouraging other individuals to do what I do until I was at a blogging conference and they asked me to speak. And when I spoke, I just remember standing there in front of those people and pouring into them and letting them know, like, you can do this, you can create this, you can build your business, you can do that. And the response that I got back from the audience was so overwhelming that I thought, you know what, I have got to lean into this. So really, I'm a perfect example of two passions in my life. Number one, encouraging other individuals to achieve their passion and be the best they can be. And the other side of it is creating content, decorating rooms, putting spaces together, all of that. So I'm a perfect example of someone that's really incorporated both passions into their job.
Why do you think having a passion is so important for everybody to have? Whether it's cooking or, like you said, being really great at makeup or interior designing or singing or dancing. Why is it important for somebody to have that one passion that kind of fuels them in their daily lives?
I think that passion is what makes life worth the living. I wake up every single day and I think in my mind, I am the luckiest duck in the entire world to get to do what I do. And I love it so much that if I didn't have this in my life, I think it would be a 2-dimensional life rather than a 3-dimensional life. And I think finding what you love and doing more of it is the best way to combat kind of all of the challenges that life throws at us, because life is challenging.
Definitely.
The journey of life is a challenging one. And along the way, there are a lot of, valleys, and there are a lot of, struggles along the journey. And I think having that passion is what fills up the cup and allows you to face those valleys and to face those challenges with optimism, with hope, with passion, because you have something that makes your heart beat faster. Mm-hmm. I cannot imagine, people always say, are you one day going to sell your business? Are you going to sell your blog? And it's like such a part of me. I can't even imagine living life without what I do. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like no matter where life takes me, I feel like doing what I do, I will do that in some capacity. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just continuing to encourage others. Maybe it's, just redecorating my spaces again and again and again, sharing that with people. I don't know what the future holds, all I know is I'm very, very excited about everything that's just around the corner, all the amazing that's just around the corner.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how would you encourage somebody that may feel that they're kind of stuck and they don't know where to go, where to pivot, and where to turn to maybe they already know what the passion is, but they're not in a place in life where they feel like they could, go ahead and do it? What would be your advice to them, or how would you encourage them?
I think, it's amazing. We live in a world right now where people are rewarding other people that are creating beautiful things, that are living their passion. So there are platforms online called Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee, or platforms that are just tipping people that are creating beautiful things. And I truly believe leaning into that passion, even if you can't see the end of the journey, even if you can't see where you're headed, just doing something to the very best of your ability. And the best example I can give you is today we were out eating at a restaurant, and there was, our waiter came up to us and he made us laugh. He made us giggle. He encouraged us. He uplifted us. And I thought to myself, the waiter at that restaurant, he is doing the very best job at being a waiter that he could be. There are no small jobs in this world. Maybe small people, but not small jobs for sure. And so taking something that you are excited about and leaning into it, even if you can't see a business opportunity or you can't see what the future might hold for doing that, I would say to that person, you never know what is around the corner. One of my favorite Instagram accounts is an incredible Instagram account where they have these crocheted frogs.
That sounds interesting.
And the frogs are doing all the cutest thing. They're baking pies. They're cutting little slices of pie and handing it to the wife or the frog, the lady frog, and they're putting an apron on and they're doing all this. And that account brings me such joy watching it. And this is an individual that just started crocheting frogs. And from those, she created this beautiful, beautiful Instagram account that I watch every single day. And it just brings me joy. And so she leaned into something that brought her passion. And then the world showed up at her doorstep. I think she has over 2 million followers now on Instagram.
Wow.
Because she did something that made her happy. Mm-hmm. And so I would just encourage people, lean into that. Don't worry about where you're going or if you could make a business out of it. Just do what you love and the world will come to your doorstep.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I also think when people see that you're pursuing your passions and they can see that you have that fire in you to do something special and use your skills to better the world, that they're going to back you up. And you've done that for me with my first episode of The Passion Project, and I'm so thankful for that. I really appreciate you being a guest on today's first episode. You've been an amazing guest and spoke so much wisdom into me, and I'm sure everyone who listens to this podcast. So thank you so much, KariAnne Wood, for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me, Natalie. And I am so excited about all of the amazing things. This podcast is incredible. I just want to encourage everyone listening to truly lean into finding your passion, and you will find your joy.
Thank you.